Hello YouTube, it is Championdjk coming at you yet again with another not made for kids adult diecast video. And this, of course, it is Free the Piece Friday. And you know what time it is? It is time to free this Auto World Ultra Raw. Yeah, buddy. Alright, so this thing, Raws are crazy, man. I collect them, obviously, but I don't go out of my way to try to get them. Why? Because they are very, very rare, being only 1 of 10 pieces made. So pretty much the rarest chase out there is an Auto World Ultra Raw. Difficult to acquire, and if you don't have, bottomless pockets, so there it is. It is 1 of 10. It is a beauty, and we are going to open it up. This is from Premium Release 2 for 2019. All right, but before we do that, we are going to take a look at all the releases leading up to this latest release, which is 2019 Release 2, that this beautiful Corvette casting has been in. So we're going to start with where it all began. Licensed Premium Release 1 in Set A, and there it is right there. This is a fairly unique Auto World casting in the fact that it's one of the very few castings that has lensed detail for the headlights. In fact, it might be 1 of 2. I think the Hennessy Camaro, does that also have a little lens detail in the front? It's hard to tell. The other one would have been the wide body Dodge Challenger, which was released in the True LE line, and that is because I believe this casting was originally slated for that line. So you do get lens detail up front for the headlights. Again, it's got beautiful detail. It is all metal. This casting is all metal, of course. It's got rubber tires, the prototypical wheels, the opening hood, the detailed motor, and very, very cool. So this is the first one that ever came out in yellow, and it also is the first version of this casting that I ever owned. So pretty darn cool. Just a really cool casting, and just a really fantastic amount of detail. So really cool. So there is that one. That was version A. Version B for that first release is right here in silver. Very cool. Of course, it also has the opening hood. We don't really need to open any more of the hoods because the motor detail is going to be all the same. And very nice looking model out of the two. It looks really good in silver. It also looks really good in yellow. It's hard to really pick a favorite color. I'm normally not a huge fan of yellow cars, but for some vehicles, such as this Corvette, it just really works for the car. And I really like it. Generally, though, silver is like my favorite color for cars. I love silver cars. All right, next is the Ultra Red Chase from that release. Now, back in the licensed premium days, these releases were not, the production numbers were not published. They were not a set production number. So it's really impossible for me to tell you how many of these Ultra Reds there are, as well as how many of each of the regular releases are. So I really cannot tell you. So the attributes of this one, however, are going to be the white stripe on the hood, and of course the Ultra Red paint. And it just looks really, really nice, of course. And this one has this is Road and Track was the licensing for this one. So very, very cool. Licensed Premium Release 1, the first licensed premium release from Auto World. It was definitely a good release too. So there's that. And then next release for this was slightly more difficult ones to find these days are going to be this licensed premium release 2 cars. This one in white is right here, and the wheels are basically the same wheel tooling. It's just they're chrome and instead of black. It looks good in white. So this was the version A of the vehicle. Again, production numbers were not, what was the Top Gear was the licensing for this one. So again, the production numbers for these cars were not released or were not known. So there is no way to tell you how many, at least for me to tell you right now, how many of these were actually made. But it does look really good in white. And then, of course, all Auto World cars look pretty awesome in black. So here it is in black. So both these colors are pretty, not super easy to find, I don't think. The License Premium Release 2 is a little bit harder. I think the production was a lot less than License Premium Release 1. I think they went gung-ho on their Release 1 cars and they made a lot of them. And then when Release 2 came out, they didn't make as many, as far as I can tell. And this is just based on my experience trying to find these cars and to fill my collection. So pretty cool in black. And then, of course, we've got the Ultra Red. And the Ultra Red basically looks a lot like the Ultra Red from Release 1. There are a few differences, notably, of course, the wheels, and notably behind the lens detail, it's Ultra Red right here, and in here it's not. And you'll notice that, too, for these, because behind the lens detail, you got white there, and behind the lens detail on that one, you have black. So it's like the headlights almost weren't as detailed. They didn't have that silver behind the headlights like they did in the first release. Really cool, though. And this one also has a white accent, not only on the hood, but also on the little spoiler thing back there. So, and these are also listed as the Callaway Corvette. I don't think they used the Callaway nomenclature or whatever after this release. All right, so carrying on, we have one more release to look at before we get to the release that contains this raw, and that would be this one here. And this is 2018 Release 1, Premium Release 1. These were limited to 2,500 pieces. This one is kind of a little bit of an error here because the headlight insert sticks out the back through the hole a little bit, and it actually prevents this wheel from turning. I do have another one of these cars I could open up to replace this one, but I'm not going to do that. Also, the difference, the engine is a little bit different in this one, and it appears to be just black. This also doesn't say that it's a Callaway, so this would have been listed, I believe, as a Z06, which is the same thing as what we see there. Jet Vet is the plate on this one. Pretty limited, though, being only 2,500 pieces. This was the version B, in this actually really cool color, orange. Ooh, and I am sorry, I screwed that up. This is actually the version A, and this is actually the version B. Both limited to 2,500 pieces. I just set them up wrong here on the table. Both have the same engine detail. That makes me want to look at this just to check. I think they had to, I don't know if the Callaway thing was a licensing deal. Yeah, because it says Callaway on the motor right there. All right, so anyway, Corvette Z06 in orange. This one's got the detail. The indicators, though, are detailed on these cars. You can see the orange in there and the silver for the headlights. Same thing on that one. What does it say? Does it say Raging? Yeah, Raging. Jet Vet. Both of these are awesome and is an awesome release. Being only 2,500 pieces is pretty cool too. And then the Ultra Red. This is going to be the rarest of Ultra Reds for this casting at 150 pieces. So there's only 150 pieces of this. It's a cool one too because what they did was they had the Ultra Red color for the body and then they had the white wheels. Very, very cool. All right, now let's get to our current release. It is time to take a look at this real quick and then open up this raw. So here it is. Here is version A in light blue. These are limited to 5,720 pieces, so quite a large production run. Should we take a look at the motor on this? Why not? If I can get it open. And it got the silver back, but of course the Callaway Tampo is not there. Corvette Z06 in Gulf livery. Everybody loves Gulf livery, so they had to do it in the standard powder blue, and then of course in the dark blue. The dark blue actually looks a lot cooler, almost just because it's got the number on it. It's got the Corvette in the windshield. It's got a little bit of extra detail on it. It's got the bow tie on the back window. It just has a little bit more to it, which I think makes it look cool, and the orange wheels make it look really cool. And but either way, this is a really neat pair. And then we've got the Ultra Red chase car. This one is limited to 343 pieces, so over double what this one was limited to. Seen both, and all of these cars so far, all these Corvettes have black interiors. I didn't really mention that, but they all have black interiors. This has the traits of the version A car. It's got the tampos of the version A car, or the graphics of the version A car. These Ultra Reds also sported an Ultra Red base. So Ultra Red body, Ultra Red base, and pretty ultra awesome. And then of course it's got Gulf power for the plate, which should match the plate on this one. And actually I think these both, no, this one doesn't have a plate. True race car fashion, there is no license plate on this car. So there you go. All right, now it's time. It is time. So sorry for taking that time to run you through the history. If you just wanted to see the car get opened, finally we are going to do it. So let's zoom out for a second. Let's take this car, 1 of 10. Again, shout out to @Diecast Comics Guns, who graciously traded this car to me. As you can see, it's got the version A tampos on it because it is the chase. And what a chase it is. And let's go ahead and relieve it of its card, relieve it of the plastic insert, relieve it of the cardboard box, and let's go ahead and set it down. Now, there was one thing I noticed in the package before we get into this too much. So you notice it's raw. That's what the Auto World Raw is. They're raw. They're not painted. They are clear-coated, but they're not painted. So they have all the graphics, any of the details, but they do not have any color. It's just the raw metal that was clear coated over, and it looks really cool. So yeah, anyway, the thing I noticed about it in the package was this hood not going down all the way. You really can't complain it's 1 of 10. It's not like I'm going to ever be able to get one to replace it or another one to replace it. I think I know why that is, and I think I just fixed it. Maybe not. No, I think I just made it worse. Anyways, I am going to investigate that and see if I can fix that. It's not going to display super well like that. I could display it hood up, which may look a little better. But I think what is happening is I don't know if this motor inside of here is in all the way, and it's pushing up on the backside just enough to pop this hood back up. So I'm not sure on that, but I will have to play around to try to fix it. But again, it's not like it's replaceable. At least not for me. It's not going to be replaceable, and it is very cool. So the Ultra Raws in this series not only are raw in color, they also have a white, painted white base to make it interesting as well. I wonder what I can do to get that to stay down, because that is going to bug me. That is for sure. And I think it's the front part of the engine. You can see right there. See that? Like hose thing kind of like pops up and goes down. I think that's what it is. Let's take a look inside of, let's not grab the chase, let's grab this one. Yeah, that's definitely going to be what it is. So I'm pretty sure that's fixable. I just got to get something in there to push that back down into place, and probably snaps into where it's supposed to be. So I'm going to do that, not on camera here, or am I going to do it on camera? Should we just try it? Should we try it? I don't want to do it and screw something up, but It's hard to actually do. I can't look at what's going on. So I'll do it off camera, and maybe I'll be able to fix it. And if I do, you'll see at the end of this video when I show pictures of all these castings if I fixed it or not. But again, that is the end of a Free the Piece video. Free the Piece Friday. This is a pretty sweet one. This is a very, very rare piece. It's not a cheap piece if you're wanting to actually purchase it. It's way out of my price range if I were to actually try to go buy one. And it's a really cool one. And I really appreciate the trade. And yeah, and I appreciate you guys checking it out. Again, I definitely want you guys to participate in Free the Piece Friday. Go ahead and post it to Instagram, post it to Facebook, post it to YouTube, you know, while it's still around. And yeah, let me know what you guys want free. Open up some stuff. Let me know what you guys want to see, actually. What do you want to see me free in the future? And maybe we'll get that going if I got something to accommodate the request. All right. Thank you guys very much again. Have yourself a great day.